I've been sent this Marseille Classic, or MClassic, I don't really know. It says Marseille on this side, and Classic on this side. This was sent into my PO box from Poland, I believe. And this was sent in by Piotr. No idea if I butchered that. He says, "Hey Steve, I've got this Marseille MClassic device that's supposed to upscale and apply anti-aliasing to your video game consoles. It's pretty to be fair, but I've got it as a gift a while ago and now it's suddenly died on me. Simply no video on screen at all. He's investigated the HDMI ports, reflowed them, probably badly in brackets, and couldn't find any issues there. With the alcohol test, I can see some parts getting rather hot, so I'd take a guess at a short somewhere on the board." So yeah, in a nutshell, he's opened it up, had a look, and can't see what's wrong with it, but something is getting hot. He also sent me, which is rather nice, some of this, presumably chocolate, whatever they are, and whatever this is. So thanks very much. I shall eat those later. Right, so how am I going to test this? I've got a Nintendo Switch, and I think that's one of the things it's meant for, so let's try that. Let's just make sure that this works without it first. There we go. Right, now let's plug it in. Oh, it needs power, doesn't it? Right, micro USB. Okay, I'm not sure that switch is in properly. Right, do you know what? I'll leave it off for now. Right, we've got a blue light. And if we switch it, well, we've got a green light, and we've got no light. Let's try it with no light first. Okay, so we're still on the switch screen now. Let's try switching it. Green light. So again, we're still on the switch screen. Let's try the blue light. I'm guessing they're just different settings. It's probably one is pass through, one is, I don't know, 1080p, one's something else. No, we're just getting no signal. Alright, well let's try and take this thing apart and let's see if we can figure out which component is getting hot.
Oh yes, I'm back, finally. But where have you been? Have you missed me, G? No, not really. Get on with the show. Okay, let's start with the support hero. MClassic is Christopher Shaw seems to be the consensus. Sigma 4, I can't judge Kobe Genius, I ain't used it yet. And this one's bust, free on TV, you bet. Haley Benz, I'm back on the scene, rhyming as hard as I can with Anthony Dean. Sea Badger Squatch, that wasn't so hard. This one's hard, adopting Princess Wizard. All that's left is Timos Magdeburg. Big love to all from the VOS jerk. Gotta do the HSG quick, so many thanks to Iconic, Sarah Cat, and Andy Banks. Kip Higgs, Martha Dave, Ozzy B, Nate Lucas, Heart Attack, get the money. Sam Boone, Steve Stepanik, Michael Biggie, James Fryman, Larry W, Green Z, Jonathan Hart and Kip V, Kissox, John Prushik, Dennis Bourne, Flux, Mongolian, Frosty Cool Slug, make the grand finale, Paddle Cake. Peace.
Right, well that was very easy to get into. I'm guessing, well, he's been in it before, hasn't he? So that comes off, which it's meant to. It's the micro USB port. It like connects into a... That doesn't look very good though. It doesn't look very straight. But it was getting power, wasn't it? Because the light was coming on. But I suppose I should get this under the microscope and we'll check it out. Right, so this is the micro USB here. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. It just looked like this had a little bit of movement in it. Well, I can check that kind of with the multimeter. I don't think that's the problem. Have a look at the rest of the board. So power is in here. And then presumably we run into this area here. Got a little via/via there. Let's just do visual inspection first. We'll have a look at the pins that he's reflowed as well. Yeah, they're all on there, nice and
solid.
check the other side. Ah, one of those. Pins either side. Yeah, I mean, this looks fine. Did a good job. Better than I could. Right, well, I don't see anything wrong there at all. This is where the input side of the HDMI port is. Let's just check these. Also,
Solid.
yeah, the board looks absolutely fine. So let's plug it in, give it some power, and see if we can see what's warming up. So we've got a blue light on, which is drawing 0 amps at the moment. Let's try moving the switch. Green light, still 0 amps. And in that position, with no light, still 0 amps. So nothing's going to be getting warm at 0 amps, is it? Well, let's plug in the switch. Maybe it needs to have something going into it. It's still drawing nothing. I'm just going to try a different power bank. Yeah, same, so nothing to do with that. Right, well, I mean, let's have a look. But I can't see how anything would be getting hot if we've got 0 amp draw. Thermal cam. Oh, something is getting hot. Yeah, it's 42 degrees as well. How is it getting hot? I wonder if this is broken, because it has broken once before. I think I've got a different one. Let me try it. Let's try this one. Yeah, it is drawing 0.06. Right, so it's drawing now. Definitely 0.057. I mean, that's very small. I don't know whether you can see that. Focus, camera, focus. There we go. Right, so what is that that's getting hot? It's in that area there. I think we're going to have to put it back under the microscope, and we'll do the old IPA test. Because these components are tiny. Right, well, it's definitely this area here. Oh, is it that chip in the middle? That one. Yeah, when you put IPA on it, burns off straight away. I think that might be the culprit. I mean, I don't know what that is. What does that even say? EEAM? Right, I've googled EEAM, and surprisingly, I don't get anything other than EE, which is a mobile network in the UK. I've tried all sorts of different searches, and it's not come up with anything. It doesn't help that I don't know what it is. It's a sin. It's a very, very small chip with 4 legs on it. Absolutely no idea. I mean, it might be some kind of MOSFET, but it doesn't look like one. I don't know. Let's see if there's any shorts in that area. Multimeter on continuity. No, absolutely none. Let's see if there's any shorts on the chip, but I would have thought there'd be a capacitor shorting if there was. So that is ground. That's nothing. 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 There's another one here, isn't there, which is very similar, but it's got different markings on. That says ENAO. I might just search that, ENAO, see if I get different results. Right, surprisingly, again, I can't find anything. I've also searched for schematics for this thing. Can't find those either. I don't really know what to do. Shall I just take that little chip off and see if it works without it? I mean, it's unlikely. It must do something, right? It would really help if I had a working one. And I could, maybe that's normal, maybe that chip is supposed to get that warm. But I can't see how I'm going to be able to fix this without knowing what that is, what it does, and whether it's faulty. Kind of important things, really. Right, I'm sure many of you were screaming at the screen earlier when I was testing it, because I was doing it all wrong. I've read the instructions now. So, well, if I'd have looked at this, I would have noticed it says source here. So what I was doing was putting the source directly into the TV, which is obviously not correct. It should be the other way around. Let's test it again. To make it a bit easier, I've just got my little Super Nintendo thing. So this is directly into it. And there we go. Right, now let's plug it in via this thing. Right, so we've got cable coming from the Super Nintendo to here. Switch it on. Nothing. Try flicking this switch. No. While it's in that position, let's just see if anything different is getting hot. You know, while it's connected properly, rather than just having the cable in. So it's still hot in that area which I looked at. Is there anything on the other side? Oh wow. Yeah, the main chip is getting hot. No, I don't think that was before, was it? I mean, when it was just connected to power. So let's just disconnect the USB. See if that cools down. Disconnect the HDMI, I should say. No, it's still staying hot. I mean, it's not red hot. But you'd think that would be normal. So the only hot spots are the original one and then the main chip. I'm going to take a punt on this early doors and say it's the main chip and it's a BGA. I think the other side is probably normal. I mean, it might not be. There's no shorts around there, so let's get it back under the microscope and let's have a look round the main chip area. I think in my last video I mentioned that my camera keeps overheating. It's very hot here today in the UK. Well, I mean, it's like 28 degrees or something, I suppose. For anywhere else in the world, that's probably quite mild. But for the UK, that's hot. And my camera keeps turning off and it's really irritating. So the sound quality on this is probably terrible. But hello. I mean, those balls look okay there. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to see, isn't it? Underneath the chip. I suppose I could reflow it, but I'm not sure it's going to be that. The one thing I didn't do was check for shorts on this side of the board, so let's do that. Multimeter in continuity. Oh, there aren't many caps on this side, really. Is it normal for a resistor to be shorted on one side? That seems odd, but maybe it is. Just see what that resistor's reading on ohms. What's that, 1.9K? So 2K. It's probably right in it. Right, I'll go around the board, I'll just check all the resistors, make sure that they're all reading normally, but I've got a feeling they're going to be. Alright, let's go back to this area which was getting hot and just check on diode. So red probe on ground. Let's have a look at these two chips here. So that should be ground, so that should come up as 0. Yep. That one, 0.5, 0.5, 0.49. Let's just check this one. 0.49, 0, 0.5, 0.49. I mean, I don't know what they should be, but that seems right to me. Let me have another good look around the board. Fade. Right, well, I had a good look around the board, and I can't see anything. There's nothing immediately obvious that's jumping out at me. I might just give this a quick reflow. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but it has worked for me in the past. Let's do it. I'll add some flux around the chip, hopefully get that underneath. And I'm going to put, I mean, this board isn't massively thick, so let's go for 400 and we'll do airflow. Let's do it about 70%, oh no, 70 out of 120. Can't be bothered working that out as a percentage. Nozzle off. There we go, it moved. Yep. Okay. We'll let that cool down. Shush! We'll let that cool down and then we'll give it a test. And a clean. Clean first, then a test. Now let's test it. And we need power going into it. Let's just check the amp draw we've got. 0.058. I think that's the same as before. Let's do HDMI TV to output of this thing. Right, that should be all set up. Let's power this on. Oh, the power's gone off here. Why? Oh, there's obviously something wrong with, unless it's just the power supply I'm using. But no, it's not working. Oh my god! It works. Let's try a different setting. No way. I did not expect that to work. Let's just do it directly from... So that's source. This is very confusing. So that's source. Let's take that one out, because that's just an extension. Let's plug it directly into the back of this. And now we've just got a cable going from there to here. Right. Let's make sure that works. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to then. I mean, I don't know if it was the reflow that fixed that. Obviously, the process of doing it has made it now work, but was it that chip that was at fault? Was there a solder ball under there that wasn't making good connection? I don't know. It could have been something around there. I've heated up that whole area. It's a small board. I probably heated up every single component on there. I wonder if it's still going to work once it's cooled down. Right, let's put it fully back together. Let it cool down 100% and test it again. I'm going to turn my camera off for a bit to let it cool down because it's still incredibly hot in here. Right, there we go. It's fully back together. Let's just give it another test now. Right, come on. Come on. No. Oh no. Oh, you are kidding me. Right, back to the drawing board with that. Right, well, let's take it apart again, I guess, and have another look. But I've been around this board about 300 times. Right, I went around the board again. I can't find anything. I tried reflowing it again, but it's not done anything. It doesn't work at all now. So I think I'm going to have to give up. I'll just show you it not working. Just to finish the video, I guess. Watch it work now. Yeah, we got the green light. No, just cycle the power on the Super Nintendo. I mean, we're getting an amp draw 0.1, which, yeah, it's gone up, but still not getting anything. I've checked the HDMI port, and yeah, it's fine. There's no problems there on both sides, so it's not that. There's definitely something on the board, but I just don't know what it is. Fail. Big fat fail.
Stupid MClassic.
For everything I long to do,